My name's Cath and I'm a studio potter. I'm in Stoke-on-Trent, which we think, us potters in Stoke, think is pretty much the mecca for pottery, the city of clay in the UK. I'm just going to do a quick introduction to a studio and what a studio potter's environment would be. As you can see, they're not very big, you know. Actually, this one, what is it? A few metres? Maybe 8 metres by 3 metres, and we've got to get a lot of equipment in, and I'm going to introduce you to the basic equipment. First, there's this wonderful bit of gear. I love my kiln. I love my kiln so much. It was recently repaired. Basically, a kiln is needed in order for you to fire your work and make it ceramic, and I've got an example of some of my ceramics in my style. We have another amazing and very important piece of kit as a studio potter, and especially if you work like me from a wheel, and that is the potter's wheel. This one is it's called a Bailey. It's called a Bailey, and it's Gladstone Bailey, and it's made in Stoke-on-Trent. So we're all a bit, you know, hyper proud of our Stokey type stuff. A bench to work from, this lovely thing to wedge your clay, to work your clay from. We don't just throw clay. We can sometimes make it into slabs and mould it and so on. So bench is really important, rolling gear, all kinds of tools and so on and so forth for that to happen. In addition, some people use formers and can, often get a bit of a form. So down here I've got this moulds and formers section, and it could be that we take something like a mould and press the clay into it and make work in that way. So that's the studio. This is the basic equipment. A kiln like this will fire to, this one fires to about 1300 degrees, 13,500 degrees, which is what's required for the clay that I work in. I work in stoneware, so this stuff's high fired and produces a very, very durable piece of work. Tiny introduction to some of my work. Even though I'm a Stoke-on-Trent potter, I have quite a Japanese style of working. These little things are called torn. They might be the kind of thing you might put a tea light in. I don't know really. They're lovely. Everyone really likes these. They were sort of a happy accident. I was trying to work with tiny bits of clay, which are hard to throw. And in doing so, it just got torn, and I was like, that's amazing. Most potters do a standard sort of bowl. And again, this is in that sort of Japanese wabi-sabi style. And I'm also an aromatherapist, and I'm interested in healing and so on. And so I also make candle pots as well, and make my own sort of organic blends that go in there. No Japanese kind of style or artwork would be any use without something called a yunomi, which is a handleless mug, and it's just the most important bit of stuff that we make. And then finally, things like decorative, wearable, really just, what's the word? I suppose it's, just decorative items. That one's inspired by the willow pattern, it's inspired by Stoke-on-Trent and Japanese form. That's the studio itself. Wheel, kiln, and it wouldn't be anything without a rack for wearboards, of course. And this is one of my favourite bits of kit in the world. Very empty today, not normally. That's me.